Code women understand attraction and protect themselves from manipulation so they can find, attract, and keep a truly high-value partner. So, grab your coffee, sit tight, and let's dive into mistake number 1. Mistake number 1: putting a woman on a pedestal. One of the worst things a man can do is this, making a woman the center of his entire universe. Look, women respect men who have drive, a mission, a purpose, not men who orbit around them like lost puppies. A woman might enjoy being the center of attention for a little while, but eventually she'll lose respect for you. And when respect goes, attraction goes right with it. Here's the key point. Respect always comes before sexual attraction. If she doesn't respect you, she will never feel genuine desire for you. So instead of making her the focus, you need to focus on yourself. Have goals, build hobbies, pursue your mission in life. When a woman sees she's not your only priority, but rather a complement to your already meaningful life, that's when she values you the most. Example, imagine this. You've been crushing it at the gym, grinding on your business, leveling up your skills. Then, suddenly you meet a woman and boom, you start skipping workouts, neglecting your goals and spending every free second texting her. Guess what happens next? You become predictable, overly available, and frankly boring. She loses interest. Smart men understand this, your mission must come first. If she truly respects you, she'll support your goals. If she doesn't, she's not worth it. And here's the kicker. Even if she never enters your life, staying locked on your goals makes your life meaningful, regardless of any woman. So, let me ask you, have you ever put a woman on a pedestal or abandoned your purpose for her attention? Drop a comment because you're not alone if you've been there. Now, if you thought that mistake was bad, just wait until you hear mistake number 2 because this one drains more men financially and emotionally than you could ever imagine. Mistake number 2, trying to impress her with money. Here's one of the most common traps, and it's destroying men silently trying to impress her with money. Think about it, what kind of women are attracted to flashing cash, expensive dates, and gifts you can't really afford? That's right, gold diggers, users, and manipulators. She might be high class, but if she's only there for your wallet, let's call it what it is, transactional, and listen closely. A true keeper values financial security, yes, but balances that with your confidence, your leadership, and your emotional strength. If you're leading with your wallet, she may fall in love with your money, but not you. Example, you take her to a 5-star restaurant. You buy her expensive gifts. You shower her with financial generosity. But instead of respecting you, she's secretly texting some other guy who never spends a dime on her. Why? Because money doesn't buy true attraction. Masculinity does, confidence does. Emotional strength does. And here's the danger. If she's only sticking around because of what you provide financially, the moment you stop spending, she's sprinting away. Suddenly, you're broke, heartbroken, and wondering how you got played. Smart men invest in themselves, build their value, and let their presence, not their bank account, be the reason a woman stays. A woman who truly values you will enjoy a 5-star dinner. Yes. But she'll be just as happy grabbing tacos from a food truck if it means being with you. So let me ask, have you ever spoiled a woman only to watch her leave the moment the gifts stopped flowing? Comment below. I want to hear your story because way too many men have fallen into this trap. Now, if you thought money was dangerous, mistake number 3 is even worse because it doesn't cost you dollars. It costs you your dignity. Mistake part 3, chasing after her attention. Here's where most men unknowingly kill attraction. Chasing after her attention, women are naturally drawn to men who seem in demand or at least give the perception of having options. The moment you start chasing, begging, overextending, and bending over backwards for her approval, your value plummets. Why? Because if you're doing all the chasing, she subconsciously thinks, this guy must not have other options. And women are wired to desire men who appear to have choices. That's social proof. It signals value. Real example, I knew a stunning woman whose girlfriends would constantly flirt with her boyfriends. Why? Because simply being with her gave those men social proof. The other women thought if she chose him, he must have value. But here's the flip side. If you're always available, always texting first, dropping everything just to please her, she assumes nobody else wants you. You've just broadcasted scarcity. Would a high status, confident man spend his time chasing? No. He's focused on his mission, his goals, his health, his purpose. Women fit into his life where it's convenient, not the other way around. And here's the psychological twist, women may bark. They may say they want a man who shows effort. But deep down they crave the man who doesn't need them. So, stop over-pursuing. Give her the gift of space. Let her wonder about you. That mystery is powerful. Wingman motto, always leave them wanting more, but give them just enough to keep them wanting more. Balance is everything. Now, don't get it twisted. Once you're in a committed relationship, especially with kids, of course, your priorities will shift, but even then, your career, your health, your mission, they still matter. Because being a great partner means being a strong individual first. So, let me ask you, are you guilty of over-pursuing a woman who wasn't reciprocating? If so, you already know how much dignity and energy that costs. Mistake number 4 is one of the most powerful moves any man can make, but most are terrified to do it. And if you don't learn this skill, you'll keep getting walked all over. Mistake number 4, being resistant to walking away. Let me drop a truth bomb here. One of the strongest power moves any man can make is this, walking away when he is not respected. Read that again. Too many men tolerate disrespect. Whether it's her flaking on plans, talking down to you, or emotionally manipulating you, every time you let it slide, you set a dangerous precedent. She can treat you like dirt and you'll accept it. And here's the psychology behind it. Women often subconsciously test boundaries to see what they can get away with, just like kids testing parents. And whether they admit it or not, deep down they respect strength and lose attraction to weakness. Respect always precedes attraction. No respect, no real desire. Example, she starts acting distant, canceling plans last minute or throwing attitude. A weak man tolerates it and keeps chasing harder. A strong man, he calls it out once calmly, respectfully, but firmly. If it continues, he walks. And here's why this matters. If you lose your cool, blow up or beg, you've just handed her the power. But if you walk away silently, with confidence, you command respect. She'll either realize her mistake and fix it or she won't. Either way, you win. Because here's the brutal truth. If she's making you question your worth, she's not the right woman. Walking away isn't weakness. It's the ultimate display of self-respect. So, let me ask you, have you ever stayed in a relationship with a woman who disrespected you? If yes, comment below, because I guarantee other men watching will relate to your story. Mistake number 5 is sneaky because society tells you it's what women want. But do it the wrong way and you'll destroy her attraction instantly. Mistake number 5, oversharing your feelings. Too soon. Now, this one's controversial. Society tells men, open up. Be vulnerable. Share your feelings. It makes women fall in love. Wrong. Here's the difference. There's a fine line between healthy emotional communication and emotional dumping. Women respect strength, not weakness. If you unload your fears, insecurities, and struggles too soon, she might sympathize, but she won't feel attraction. Why? Because when you slip into emotional weakness, she shifts from lover mode into mother mode. And once she's in mommy mode, romantic desire dies. Example, let's say you've been dating for just a few weeks and you've already shared every insecurity, every fear, every emotional scar. Instead of seeing you as a strong, grounded man who can handle life, she starts seeing you as a child she has to comfort. Attraction plummets. The key is strategic vulnerability. Share gradually at the right time with the right woman. You earn the right to be deeply vulnerable after you've built a strong foundation of respect and attraction. Here's the psychology. Emotionally, healthy women crave security. If you project emotional instability, it triggers doubt, not desire. So, smart men control their emotions and share them in a way that maintains respect, not pity. And here's the kicker. It's not about shutting down your emotions, it's about emotional discipline, learning to share them like a leader, not like a scared little boy. Most importantly, building resilience makes you more attractive and stronger in every area of life. So, let me ask you, have you ever overshared too soon only to watch her lose interest? If yes, don't beat yourself up. You just learned a powerful lesson. Mistake number 6 is one you might be making without even realizing it. And if you don't fix it, you'll never be seen as the man she respects. Mistake number 6, letting her control the relationship. Here's a harsh truth that might sting a little. If you let her control the relationship, you've already lost her respect. Now, let me be clear. Many women say they want to take charge. But biologically and psychologically, most women crave leadership from their man. If you let her call all the shots, she'll do it, but over time, she'll start to resent you for it. And here's why. When she has to make all the decisions, she's forced into mother mode. She becomes the leader, the mommy, and you become the child. And what happens to attraction when she feels like your mom? It dies. Example. You're constantly asking, where do you want to eat? What do you want to do? What do you want to watch? At first, she might tolerate it. But eventually, she starts feeling like she's babysitting, not dating. And here's the dangerous myth. Happy wife, happy life. It sounds cute, but long-term it kills relationships because the woman respected you when she chose you. If you give up all leadership, she loses that respect. The better mantra, happy spouse, happy house, because respect must go both ways. Now, don't confuse this with being a dictator. That's not attractive either. Real masculine leadership means taking initiative, making decisions, but still considering her feelings and input. That balance allows her to relax into her feminine. And that's when passion thrives. Remember, we teach people how to treat us by what we allow. If you allow her to lead everything, she'll lose attraction, but if you lead with confidence, she'll feel safe, secure, and deeply connected. So, let me ask you, have you ever fallen into the happy wife, happy life trap? If so, you know exactly how it drains your masculinity over time. Now, mistake number 7 is everywhere in modern society, and most men don't even realize they're doing it, but it's one of the fastest ways to kill attraction completely. Mistake number 7, apologizing for being a man. This one is painful to watch. Too many men today feel they need to apologize for being masculine. They suppress their natural strength, avoid confrontation, and become overly agreeable just to make women comfortable. But here's the raw truth. Women don't fall for men who dim their masculinity. They may enjoy the attention, but they are not deeply attracted to it. Masculinity, when it's authentic, is not toxic. It's leadership, decisiveness, confidence, and direction. And when you suppress it, you become passive, predictable, and, sadly, forget. Table, example, you're in a disagreement, instead of calmly stating your view, you fold. You're right, babe. Sorry, not because you believe it, but because you don't want conflict. Guess what happens? She loses respect. Think about the guys women chase. Are they the ones who tiptoe around every conversation, constantly saying, "Whatever you want, babe"? No. They're the ones with strong opinions, confidence, and a backbone. Feminine women crave masculine men. That doesn't mean being aggressive or controlling. It means owning who you are unapologetically. It means speaking your mind, setting boundaries, and standing firm in your values. And here's the psychology. If you find yourself triggered, reactive, or overly apologetic, chances are it's not about her. It's about you and those childhood wounds you've never healed. When you apologize for existing as a man, that's weakness. But when you own your masculinity, you build self-respect, confidence, and the ability to lead your own life without needing her constant approval. The lesson: stop apologizing for being masculine. Because the moment you do, you rob her of the very thing that sparks desire. Mistake number 8 is one most men know they're making, but they still do it. And it's the reason so many end up trapped in toxic relationships. Mistake number 8, ignoring red flags, because she's hot. Now, this one, oh boy, men fall for it every single day. Ignoring red flags just because she's beautiful. Listen, beauty is intoxicating. A gorgeous face, a killer body, that seductive energy, it clouds judgment. But here's the truth. A pretty face does not equal a good woman. If you ignore her lousy behavior because she's hot, you're setting yourself up for disaster. Maybe she's rude to waiters, glued to her phone during dates, or refuses to take responsibility for anything. But instead of facing the reality, you tell yourself, she's just having a bad day or 15. Wrong. Those red flags don't disappear. They get worse once you're emotionally invested. Example, she's constantly hiding texts, dismissing your boundaries, or stirring up drama. But you let it slide because, let's be honest, you're blinded by her looks. Fast forward a few months and now, you're in a toxic relationship, drained emotionally and mentally. And here's a harsh reminder. At some point, that effing you're getting isn't worth the effing you're taking. Smart men put peace of mind above physical beauty. They know character outlasts curves. So, ask yourself honestly, have you ever stayed with a woman just because she was hot? Even when the warning signs were flashing in neon red? If yes, you already know how costly that mistake becomes. Mistake number 9 is the most dangerous one of all because it's the most common manipulation tactic women use. And if you don't catch it, you'll never feel in control of your relationships. Mistake number 9, letting her weaponize sex against you. This one cuts deep because it's not just manipulation, it's control. Mistake number 9 is letting her weaponize sex against you. Here's how it works. She rewards you with intimacy when you do what she wants and withholds it when you don't. Suddenly, sex becomes a bargaining chip and you're no longer her partner. You're her puppet. Women instinctively understand how much men value intimacy. If you let her use it as a tool, she owns the power dynamic. Example, you call her out for flirting with other guys. Instead of addressing the problem, she shuts down physically, making you feel like you did something wrong. Now, you're apologizing for setting a boundary just to get back into her good graces. Or she gives you the silent treatment until you finally give into what she wanted all along. Then, magically she's affectionate again. That's not love. That's control. A high-value man never lets sex dictate his confidence, his self-respect, or his decisions. If she tries to weaponize intimacy, you don't beg, you don't grovel, and you definitely don't cave. Yes, you may need to have a serious conversation or worst case take a break from intimacy altogether, but you never let sex become a tool for manipulation, because the moment you do, you've traded leadership for dependence. So, there you have it. 9 things smart men should never do with women. Now, let me be real with you. Every man has made at least some of these mistakes. Maybe you've put a woman on a pedestal. Maybe you've overshared too soon. Maybe you've ignored red flags because she was stunning. But here's the good news, every mistake is a lesson. Every failure is a chance to grow. You're not supposed to master this overnight. Just like you didn't learn to drive after one lesson or crush a video game the very first time you tried. It takes practice. It takes awareness. And most importantly, it takes self-respect. Because at the end of the day, relationships should add peace, joy, and strength to your life, not drain it. And the moment you start valuing yourself above all else, you'll naturally attract women who respect you, desire you, and truly want you, not your wallet, not your attention, not your compliance. So, let me ask you, how many of these mistakes have you made? Drop your number in the comments because you'll be surprised how many men share your exact story. And if you found this video valuable, hit that like button, subscribe to Dark Psychology, and share this with a friend who needs to hear it. Remember, your dignity, your power, and your peace of mind are priceless, protect them.